Hello, Leute. Today I'm going to help you out a little bit if you're still struggling with adjective endings after der words, after your definite articles. So we're going to do a little bit of practice. First things first, we're going to start with a sentence and we're going to look at what are the different parts of the sentence and then review what the function of each of those parts are. So if I have the sentence, I gave the boy a ball. Well, in this case, we should probably keep it the ball, so everything's an definite article. Okay, so I gave the boy the ball. So I'm going to have to look for the different parts of the sentence. First is the subject. That's going to be the who is doing the giving. Then I'm going to have the direct object. That's the what I am giving. And then finally we're going to have the indirect object. And that's going to be the to whom or for whom in some cases. Okay, so just to review, the subject, that's always in nominative case. Okay, the direct object, that's always in accusative case, and the indirect object is always in dative case in German. Okay, so let's look at this sentence really quick. I gave the boy the ball. My first question is, what is the subject of the sentence? So who is doing the giving? So that is going to be the I. Okay, so I am the one that gave something, so I am the who. Right, now my question is, what is the direct object? What have I given? Right, what is going to be the ball? That's the direct object, and in German that would be an accusative case. And then finally we have the indirect object. That's going to be to whom or for whom. So I gave the boy the ball. To whom did I give the ball? The boy. So that in German is going to be a dative case. Okay, so that's going to be our first step in order of figuring out our sentences and our adjectives a little bit there. So let's get rid of all of this here. And we'll move on a little bit. So let's look at the same sentence in German just so we can figure out what is what in the sentence. So, ich habe dem Junge den Ball gegeben. Okay, so das gleiche Frage hier. Was ist das Subjekt? Das Subjekt ist ich. Why is it the subject? Because it's the who is doing the giving, or who gave in this case. Okay, dann wir haben das Direktobjekt, das ist das was, and that's going to be den Ball. Keep in mind, ball is a masculine noun. Okay, so ball is masculine. So normally it would be der Ball. In this case, it's an accusative case, so the der is going to change to den. Why is it an accusative case? Because it's the direct object, and it's the what. Okay, so that's what's going on with Ball. That's my accusative. Now our last thing is to whom have I given the ball? That's going to be dem Junge. Okay, so dem Junge here, dem Junge, that's my indirect object. So just a reminder, why, and that's my to whom. Okay, why did der Junge change to dem? Because it's in dative case, because indirect objects are in dative case. So I would go in and I would change the der to dem. Okay, so that's what's going on with our sentences. So let's talk about how this is going to help us relate this to adjective endings. Okay, so let's start with something nice and easy. So we're going to say, der nett Mann heißt Tony. Okay, so the nice man is named Tony. Right, so who is named? That's going to be the nice man. So it's going to be the subject of my sentence. Okay, so now I know what my noun is. So let's talk about what our steps are for figuring things out. So our first step is find the noun. Our second step is going to be find the article. So that's your der word in this case. Our third step is going to be singular or plural. And our fourth step is going to be case and gender. Okay? So first things first, we know that Mann is the subject of the sentence. That is the noun that comes after the adjective. So we found our noun. Okay, so now we need to figure out what our article is. So what's our der, die, or das word? In this case, it's going to be der, because it's the nice man. So der is my article here. Okay, so I know my article now. Der only shows up with masculine words. Well, first let's talk about singular or plural, right? So we have Mann, der Mann. If it was plural, it would be die Männer. So I know that it's singular because der doesn't show up in plural. Okay, so I know that it's singular, so we're good there. I found my article, it's der, and I found my noun. So the last case is the case and gender. So if I know that Mann is the subject of the sentence, we've talked about that. Okay, so subjects are in nominative case. Right, so I'm in the very first row there, very first row across the top of my gelbe tabelle. Okay, now I have to talk about the gender. It's going to be masculine, so I'm in the very first column, so I'm actually in the very top box of my gelbe tabelle. Okay, and so I'm going to choose E for my adjective ending because it's nominative, singular, masculine. All right, let's try one more that's a little bit harder. Okay, so we know our steps. Let's say die schön Frau hat den cool Hund. So the pretty woman has a cool dog. All right, step 1, find the noun. Okay, so we have 2 nouns in this case that we're going to be adding an ending to. So noun number 1, Frau, because that's the noun that comes after the adjective. Noun number 2, Hund, because it also is a noun that comes after an adjective. So we found our nouns. Okay, step 2, now I'm going to find my articles so I know where they are. Okay, so we have Frau is my noun, so my article is going to be die. All right, the beautiful woman. Now if I'm going to go to my second noun, Hund, I'm going to highlight my article, den, so I know that it's den Hund, the dog. Okay, we're going to break this down a little bit more simple in a second. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is go to singular or plural. So Frau here is going to be singular because it would be die Frauen if it was plural, and Hund, it would be Hunde if it was plural. So I know that they're both going to be singular because our nouns are still singular there. And then the last thing is case and gender. So let's take this one at a time. Okay, so I got my noun Frau. I got my article die. I know that it's singular. Okay, who has the dog? The Frau. So she's the subject. So she's a nominative case. And then Frau is a feminine word. So I'm going to go to nominative, feminine, and I'm going to have an E ending. Let's look at our second word, Hund. This is what the beautiful woman has. So the beautiful woman has a cool dog. So the dog is going to be the direct object because it answers the question of what. So now I'm going to look at masculine, accusative, so I'll have an EN ending. Okay, so those are the basic steps of how you're going to figure out your endings for dare words if you're still confused. Try a couple more practice ones on your own, and then we'll go over it again tomorrow if need be. Okay, I hope this helped. Viel Glück und viel Spaß beim Deutschlernen.